Good evening, one and all. Welcome to the stream of dreams. Hello, welcome to another one of my streams. We have Dirty Harold's, we have Dorian, and hopefully we shall have some other people drop in along this rambling, rampaging journey of silliness. We shall see what happens. Thank you for joining straight off the bat. Much appreciated, people. I could do something a little bit different this time around. We still have Ball Bounce-a-thon, which I may do a little bit of. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Community Creation Collaboration Challenge shizzle. Every week on a Discord that I'm a member of, there is a creation challenge. You have as much time as you like across the course of 1 week to complete a collaboration challenge. This week it is essentially it's Fight Club for tiny animals, tiny mammals, Mammal Fight Club, Rodent Fight Club. I got there in the end, and that's rats and 1 second. Rats and rabbits and ocelots and ferrets and all of those sorts of creatures. So I thought it'd be quite fun to have a quick bash and see how much of that I can get through in the space of a stream. I thought that'd be quite a fun thing to do. So I am going to go ahead and get started. I've got a fairly good idea of what I want to create, but whether that'll happen or not, who knows? Here goes. So I want to go and I want to create a scene. I always create a scene wherever I go. Grid mode. Love grid mode. Always, always, always grid mode. First thing to do whenever you turn on grid mode, make sure in your scene, for various reasons, make sure you grab the platform and just center it. It can be slightly off, and if you do any kind of rotational things or anything like that, it can screw up your scene. So make sure everything is always aligned to the grid. So this is going to be my platform. I shall build up around this, and that'll help me with scale, etc, etc, etc. So what I'm going to do first and foremost is I'm going to jump into sculpt mode, and I'm just going to chuck in some very quick solids to get an idea of what I'm actually going to create here. So I think what I'm going to have is I'm going to have a slightly larger animal versus a whole bunch of smaller animals. L1 and down on the D-pad to shrink my grid. L1 and up on the D-pad to increase my grid. And so I think I want to have a little small rodent there. There'll be some kind of a creature there. And I'm going to have one in the air doing some kind of a flying karate kick. And I want to make sure that's going to make sense from a view point of view. So when the camera is playing, it will have a bit of dynamic viewing experience to it, so that it makes sense to the viewer and speaks to them at a deep and meaningful level. But no, seriously, it makes a big difference the way that you compose a scene. So if I do something like that, that will help me a little bit. So I know what I want to do now. So I want to first and foremost, okay, I'm going to need to make some little teeny tiny legs. So I've clicked into that to make a new sculpt, because at the moment that is all one sculpt. I want to make little sculpts for each of these that I'll then replace the blocks with. This is literally just so I can get my camera position right. That is the only reason it's there, and will be deleted in due course. We have a third person in the stream. Don't know who it is. Welcome, whoever mystery person, stream person is. So if I do that, and I also want to make sure I do stamp, and I also want to make sure I take down my looseness to the lowest possible level. Haha. So this is a creation stream. I won't be playing anything in this stream of any kind. It's just going to be creation. Nothing against the streaming of dreaming. My preference and my preference is I would rather do the streaming as I create something. So I think that's where my skill set lies. Plenty of other streamers do the reviewing and viewing of dreams much better than I do. So I shall stick to what what I think I'm good at. So I have one leg. Now this is going to have two different legs, so I can't just replicate what I'm doing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and line this up a little bit like that. Perfect. You can still hold R1 and stamp, and it lets you move it around to make sure it's right before you stamp it. Because as soon as you let go of L1, you move away. So I find that just helps me a little bit. Again, I imagine most people already know these things, but hey, who knows? Some people might not. And for this, I am going to turn my blending up down just a little bit more, because I believe rodent legs should look a little bit more bony in their structure. So I'm just going to have a bit of a play around with this. Oh, that didn't work, did it? Oh no, actually that'll work quite well because that'll be the foot. Bam, bam, bam. Now I need a ball. And that is going to eventually become a claw. So I want it to be something like that. Nice and smooth. Yeah, I think that'll work quite well. Or, actually, in thinking about it, so this character is going to be doing a flying kick. No. No, that doesn't work. It's got to be more like that. And that's not quite right, so I'm going to move that forward a little bit to about there. And again, I can hold R1 and just stamp that right in place. Oh dear. Dorian's been chatting to a medicated lunatic. I wonder who that could be. I really do. Spoiler alert, I know exactly who it is. In all seriousness, no, I do hope said individual feels better soon. No one likes to be unwell. Okie dokie, so why can I not do... Ugh! Grid is so irritating. Thankfully, I have got my basics in place now, so I can afford to do a little bit of this and just do it a little bit freeform, a little bit way, a little bit where. I don't know how many toes rodents have, but the joy of doing it this way is I don't need to care because it's all made up anyway. Again, making sure you take that down every time. That'll do for that one. And then R1 and square, change the shape of it because right now that looks a little bit weird. Ah, hello Snags. How are you feeling, sir? How's the old flu going? You have joined us just as I'm in the process of making some kind of rat type thing, who will be the star of the show, doing some kind of a flying kick thing, I hope. So that can go there. Ah, I hear rum is the recommended solution to any kind of flu-like symptoms. So yeah, snags on the rum sounds like a winning combination. It yeah, it certainly beats shots at the bar with a scouse person, which is what happened recently. So I now have my little tiny claw, but it's not very claw-like right now. It's not very even either, so I'm going to try and do something with this. The captain will steer you clear. I gotta tell you, I don't know that he will. I think he could lead you astray. Okay, so again, L1, R1 and square to go in and edit the shape, and it just lets me have a little look around. This is not going to be especially neat, I don't think, but I'm not so sure it has to be. I think I'll get away with this being a little bit messy, to be honest. So, something like that, I think. Except not giving it a club foot would be a good idea. This is hard. Don't get me wrong, Dreams is always difficult, but this is trickier than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, there we go. And then what I can do is I can now add a little bit of weird muscle. This, potentially, is my entry into the community challenge on the Discord server. Potentially. If it's awful, then I'll deny all knowledge and pretend it never happened. And that'll be just fine too. So we need to have this come down just a little bit here, because this is going to be part of the musculature of the leg. I'm going to make that slightly fatter at that end, like that. Again, I don't actually know what rat feet look like. That's probably more hand. Yeah, do you know what? That might actually just end up being a hand. But what I can now do is then do the same with the other way around, and then try and mold some kind of a shape to this. You have a silly idea, Dirty Harold. You're not sure if it'll work. Is that for me or is that for your attempt? Are you sharing with the group today, or are you keeping it secret and safe for your own purposes, your own nefarious purposes? Hello, Mr. Dreams Have Meanings. Good to see you. Oh, you're keeping it to yourself. I see, Mr. Harold. I see how we play this game. Ugh, remember when you let go of moving it around and having a look at such things, it will revert back to moving it around all over the place. Well, that looks a little bit silly, but I can fix that afterwards, can't I? Right, I will do that. And actually, I'm guessing, yeah. Oh, that's alright, don't worry about being late. I'm just delighted anyone could join. I'm flattered that I've got 5 people watching me, to be honest, and just a little bit nervous. So what I can now do is, with exactly the same shape, I can probably give this a little bit more structure, because the hands have to have structure. This was going to be one of the legs, but, you know how it is. Change of plans and all that. I can't see that because my imp is in the way. Imps are wonderful, but by God, they get in the way. Which is one of the reasons that I love holding R1, because it makes it go away when you're trying to actually do stuff and not have it in the way. So if I then do that, and then I can do another one on there, and then I can do another one over there. Again, this is all one sculpt at the moment, but I'm not terribly worried about that because I can always snip it and crop it as necessary. That's what I usually do if I'm doing any kind of character thing. I've seen all of you drunk and stupid, no need to be nervous. Have I? No, I haven't. I have never seen Captain Harold's drunk and stupid. So, yeah, for all I know, he could be judging me right now. He could be judging us all. Okay, so now I want to do something a little bit more with the claws. So we want the, whoa, hello, where are you? All the way over there. Dirty Harold is very stupid when he's drunk. I desperately hope to see that one day, Mr. Harold. I would thoroughly enjoy that. Again, it's becoming something of a habit, but I'm assuming that everything is safe and okay where you are with everything that's going on. I did see that there was some rain in somewhere that was apparently helping out with some of the awfulness that's going on right now. I do hope that is the case where you are. Those koalas need all the help they can get, and kangaroos and horses and all the other incredible wildlife of your native country. So I'm literally just using a tentacle tool to try and make some kind of a claw just to get me started, so I've got some kind of idea what I'm doing here. So if I do that, yeah, see, that looks stupid there, so I need to rotate that a bit. Again, I keep saying it, but I will keep saying it. The fix rotate tool with R1 is an absolute godsend for these sorts of things. We are making a rodent, Mr. Snags. It probably will be end up. It will probably end up being a rat. You're absolutely right. I don't know yet. I think we'll see how we get on. I may get halfway through, get bored, and decide that I'm not doing it after all and do something else entirely. I wouldn't put it past me. Right, and then that one somewhere like that. I'm fine where I am, but the rain should help prevent fires near me. Farron, though, probably smoked out at the moment. Oh, is Farron over in your neck of the woods? I didn't realise that. I didn't realise that at all. Yeah, that's really not good. I'll need to say something. Right, okay, so this is obviously going to need a fair bit of work to make it look passable. But I think my focus right now is just to get basic structure in place. Because what I can then do, if I jump out of this, and I jump in and I grab a puppet, no, I just need a basic puppet right now. What I can do is if I paste said puppet in there, I bring this over here, and I scope in by holding R1 and X. What I can then do is I can say, get rid of that, get rid of that. Do I want to get rid of that? Probably yes. And then if I push that in there a little bit, if I build up my model a little bit like this, I can then pose it much easier and add the necessary bits and pieces to it than I would be able to otherwise. It makes it much easier to pose as I do what I need to do. I'm also going to need to make a fuzzy tail, which I don't know how I'm going to make just yet. The other thing that you can do is shrink down some of these things, keep them out of the way, make them teeny, teeny, tiny, and then if I bring that back to there, and then what I can do is I can zoom right into that, choose both of them, leaving the tweak tool open. Ah, bugger. No, I can't make them a group. Ugh, crap. Okay, so... I thought I'd be able to make them a group. What happens if I just make that like that? Dreams have meanings. You're an expert on that. Yeah, yeah, I think you probably are. Okay, that kind of works. I'll need to do something with this afterwards. I can invisible it like me English. Yes, absolutely. Because I still want the joint to be there, but what I want is for the... Oops. What I want is for that joint to move as though it was the other joint. So I was hoping I could group them, but I don't think that's going to be possible. Not the end of the world. I can still work with that. Cool. Okay. So I'm also going to need a springy tail. So my camera is going to be about here, and I'm going to need a springy tail of some kind. So I'll create that as well. So new sculpt, again, stamp, make the fleck small. Material I don't need to worry about right now. Color I don't need to worry about right now. It's just making sure that it's stamping as I need to. I have abandoned the rum and opted for a bowl of cherries. Cheerios. Okay. Sure. I'm glad that you shared that. I'm delighted you shared that. I don't think you'll get quite the same effect from Cheerios that you'll get from alcohol. Yeah, cherries is a bit random. I, okay, sure. So I want my tail to be relatively small, but it has to work with... yeah, that'll work about right. Nubbin. And I'll position it in here. I'm going to do a couple of different things here. So I'm going to place that there first, and then I'm going to do a move on this. So, ah, wait, what just happened? Oh, god damn it. That sucks. It's so frustrating. You undo something and it undoes it, not in the sculpt, but in game world that you've just done, which is very frustrating. Right. Now this one goes here. That comes down. This goes straight down. Hello, Amenjo. Thank you for joining, man. Much appreciated. So I am in the process of doing the community challenge for the week. I thought I would just do it in a stream because it's the only chance I'm going to have to play Dreams this week, I suspect. I don't think I'm going to get much chance otherwise because I'm away this weekend. So, oh crap. About there. And then if I bring that up, so I'm currently making some kind of a rat tail type thing. And if I stick that there, because the tail's going to have to be kind of flying all over the place here. Because he's going to be jumping towards the target person. There we go, something like that. Ooh, how's the new job going, Amenjo? How's the return to the world of sign writing? Yeah, I think that's not too bad. Are you seeing crazy fonts and neon lights in your sleep then, Amenjo? Comic Sans? You mean Comic Sans? Okay. That reminds me of the... Oh, that's the wrong way around. There we go. Yeah, that reminds me of the thing they did a while back where they put all of the... They put all the brands in Comic Sans and it looked horrific. I'll never forget the Coca-Cola brand in Comic Sans. It was the worst. Okay, so we've got a couple of hands here. So these are going to be rawr type, reaching forwards. I may even do a trademarked splits action for my character as well. In fact, what I'm also going to do is I am going to go into this and I'm going to do cutouts and I'm going to do cutouts with slices and see what I can do with this. I haven't tried half of this stuff before, so it might all be awful and not work very well. So we'll see how we go on. Oh, look at that. You can do blending even with that. That's handy. That's very handy. I didn't even realize you could do that. 33-meter boats. Is this where people... So, Amenjo is a manager for a sign company on some island somewhere. And I understand that he is, based on what I'm reading, he's making signs for boats, which is cool. Please tell me it's not putting ridiculous names on beautiful big boats, like Princess of the Niobe, the Nymerian Princess. Please tell me it's not doing that. Please, God, tell me it's not doing that, because that's just the worst. It's not the worst, in fairness. There are far worse things to be doing, like being an IT manager for a company. Okay, so now, in theory, the Snaggle-Splode Floaty Boaty. Well, surely that'd be called the Snaggle McSnagsface. Okay, now if I bring these a little bit back, like that, I'll shorten the arm. This may or may not work, I don't know. But I'll make it slightly more posable, especially if I then increase the fleckiness on it. No, not the fleck perspective, the looseness. Why is that one not doing it? Ah, it is. I'm just being a numpty. I did not realise. All the bolts are from Malta. Okay. Any particular reason why they're from Malta? So what I was hoping here was that I would be able to go like this. And pose this a little bit better. So it was almost... Now this may not work and I may just undo it all and kill it, but I just wanted to see if this would work from a... Yeah, that kind of looks alright point of view. If I then covered that in paint, that would give it fur. Let me just try that real quick. Paint and some hair. We want that hair to be a nice brown colour. A bit of a ratty brown, rough hair, and we want surface snap on there. And now I know rat feet. Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to blend, Snags. I think I've made it a bit too. Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to blend it very well. Because if I jump in here and increase my looseness, it's not until you get kind of up to there, and even then it still looks a bit too much. Although that would work for the rat tail, actually. I'll section off the tail and do it that way. But even up at 74%, it's still not ideal. Oops, that didn't work. Impasto. Okay, let's give that a bash. Nope, no dice. It's alright, I'll cover it with hair. Again, as I say, I may completely change my mind on this one. It may not end up being like this at all. Who knows? This was more just to do a bit of a testing ground to see what worked and what didn't. I think what I want to do is that and just get some. I don't need to like the video, it's absolutely fine. It's just a pleasure having you guys here, to be honest. I'm nowhere near skilled enough to merit liking videos and such. I'm just having a bit of fun and delighted that you guys are here to share in the tragedy, to be honest. See, that really annoys me. Why on earth can I not just make this do what I want it to do? That's so irritating. I don't want the fat end of the hairs to be there. I want them to. Is it that I need to change my impasto? Ah, okay, okay, okay. Okay, that's not so bad. So I can still do what I need to do with this then. I don't have to have it right from the start. I can adjust the impasto afterwards. There is no obligation to like or subscribe. I'm not going to tell anyone to hit the bell. Bell, Dorian, stop it. Yeah, no, I don't go in for any of that. I just do this because it's a giggle. Or at least I think it is anyway. I got 7 people watching now. No pressure. Jeez, oh. Thank you for those who've just joined. Why did it do that? Why? No! That way. Why is it? This is really irritating. Don't turn around. Stop turning around. Just. I, there's an option to stop it, is there? Where? Which option is it? I am paying attention to change the fleck type of the sculpt to hair and loosen a lot quicker. Alright, let's have a look there. Yeah, so I am missing things in the chat here. Ah, there's too many things being said. So I saw a Menjo saying something about changing something here. Go to the spanner. Oh, in the actual paint itself. Okay, spanner. So you can do rule flex, but they won't snap to the surface. They'll go through it instead of it. Yeah, the Discord is crazy busy at the moment. I think it's only going to get more busy as time goes on. Stamp fleck. Ah, okay. Right. So then I need to stamp each one of them individually. Like that. I see. Okay. That's... Okay, that's cool. It's so frustrating though that I can't kind of not smear, but I can't kind of do multiples. I have to do them all individually. But hey, that's all good. Thank you for the tip. Don't make any innuendo jokes there, Dorian. I can literally sense you typing jokes. Again, I'm probably going to do this, and then someone is going to join the chat and go, "Oh my God, why not just use the Make Hairy tool?" You can still smear in a direction. No, you can't. I'm holding down R2 the entire time. It shall not do it. Doesn't want to. Ooh, but I wonder, could I do that? Ah, no, I couldn't. Grr. There's an option to get randomization of fleck. No, I'm quite happy with the fleck randomization, to be honest with you, because I don't want it to be quite so uniform. So if I go in here and I up my impasto, I don't have to go all the way, but I can make it a little bit better like that. And then I can maybe do a bit of cloning, perhaps? Nope. Nope. You guys are just literally just seeing me being experimental with this stuff. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. We shall find out. Oh, there we go. That looks a little bit better. No, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted either. Bah. Okay, fine. Do you know what? Fine. I don't care. There we go. Nah, that looked like crap. I did, yeah. So I stamped and made some copies, but it doesn't look very good, to be honest with you. I think I'll go back to the drawing board with this one at another time. Again, I may well get bored halfway through this and switch to something else. This will probably just be a stream of me jumping between creations, getting frustrated, and yeah. Why don't you go right into the sculpt and change the fleck type to hair? Okay. Fleck type. Oh, using the style thing. Okay, let me have a look at that. Style. Fleckety fleck. Hair. That. Paint. Apply fleck. And if I apply fleck to that one, okay. And then if I change this color of the sculpt apparently as well. And then change the looseness of it, presumably. Nah, see, look, you've got to go kind of stupidness to make it do anything. I could put the impasto up. Oh, okay, yes, I see. As I was saying, there will probably be a way to make this really, really easy. All of that stuff. So yeah, there we go. That's how you do it, folks. Well, that was easy. Thank you very much. Learn something new every day. Right, so I can get rid of those, and I can now go like this. Right, here we go. Brown rat. Rat hands. Into there. That goes all the way up. Sod it, I'll stick it to 300. Impasto, why is everyone shouting impasto at me? I just did impasto. And then into the style, fleck type, apply fleck, flecky flecky fleck fleck. It now has a fleck. This one at the back doesn't look like it took that, but it did. And then I can now apply looseness to it. Again, I'm probably doing this all the wrong way around, but yeah, it's fine, we're all learning. There we go. Okay, I now have some kind of rat type, arm type thing. Next time we meet, we cheers our drinks with a chant of impasto. That'll make us sound like weird Italians who didn't make Stickman. Right, so I want some kind of a brown type colour. I've still got the overlap at the joints, but that's not too bad actually. Yeah, that could work. Cool. Alrighty. So that, excellent. We've been going for 42 minutes, and that's what we've got. This is most definitely onto a winner. What I am going to do is I am going to... Oh, no, no, no. I'm going to slice up the tail. Just a little bit. I need to take down that just a bit more because it's not connecting as I would want. Impasto. It's a me, impasto. Oh Christ, Dorian's getting involved now as well. Everyone wants to do impasto as a new Cheers thing. Cool. Sounds fun. You should make one sculpt and copy while reducing for the same effect here. No, because this is a twisty-turny sculpt that's doing multiple directions that, if I'm being honest, this is a quicker way for me to do it. Personally, I wouldn't be able to do it that way. Imp pasto. Oh god. So I've just changed my direction to local. No, that's going to make a blind bit of difference. But yeah, essentially what I'll do, I won't do it on the stream because I'm not going to embarrass myself too much tonight, hopefully, is I will move all of these so that they line up a little bit better. Again, as everyone is saying, there are probably better ways to do this, but hey. And then just move each one of these as necessary. The most inefficient way in the world to make a rat tail. Thank God Lady Lex isn't watching this stream. That I think she would be going bananas right about now. Right, I need to sort this camera out. There we go. What I might also do is I might have another go at some of the Crystal Maze stuff, because that also needs to get done. I was going to try and get that done. This part would be easy with sculpt clones. I said each one would be a separate sculpt, reducing mathematically, and you could link them. I could also make it explode. Yes, Reckley, what on earth are you doing here? You're far too good for this stream. Jeez, oh man, there's so many skilled, incredible creators here. I really, genuinely don't deserve this. And you're following as well. Seriously, Reckley, that's ridiculous. I'm now just embarrassed. I'm flattered as well that so many people have joined, so many awesome individuals have joined. I'm also thinking of this as like my audition, Reckley, for voicing anything that you might want voiced. The shadow in the corner looked at him for a while, observing his fear, bathing in it. Yeah, that went weird. Sorry about that. La 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 la. And there we have it. A rat tail. There we go. Ah, yeah. You're absolutely right, guys. There are other ways I could have done that more easily than I did, but I'm not quite as confident doing that as I am just adjusting them manually. And for the purpose of this stream, with the likes of Snags and Reckley and Dorian and Dirty Harold's here and everyone else, I was like, yeah, I'll do what I know, and it'll be slow, but at least I won't embarrass myself. Also, when you clone it, so okay, I'll tell you what, let's try this the way that you guys suggested. So we're saying if I were to clone this and oh, what's happened there? Come back. Where's it gone? Right. If I were to clone this and rotate it and shrink it down, see, this is. Oh, I need to take off my guide. Nonsense. Okay. Look top down. Well, because it's going to twist, I don't think it'll make any difference what way I look at it, because it's going to twist in multiple directions, but I'll give it a bash. So I do that, and I do that. Okay, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. And then, what, shrink that down a little bit. Ah. So that's how you guys would do it, and then do. Ah, see, look at that. Casey Jones. Wow. I've been made fun of by the very best now. Anyone else is welcome to come in and make fun of me. Curve tool, slight reduction in size, clone, and reduce. Well, no, because every time you reduce, it will reduce the length of it as well. So just to take this to its logical conclusion then, if I were to do that and then reduce that down as well, it's not a uniform length anymore. But I see what you guys are saying. Roundy cone type shape. Right, no, I'm not playing this game anymore. We have a rat tail. Huzzah! Excellent. So we have a rat tail of some kind. And I could joint all of that up and I could have it moving as necessary, and that would be fine. As it stands, this is going to be a static scene that is going to look something like that. With each of the. So, Reckley, the weekly challenge is to do Fight Club, um, uh, furry Fight Club, basically. And yeah, this is where the camera's going to be, hopefully. And what I want to have is lots of little creatures, these smaller cubes, attacking a larger creature, and the camera to kind of fly through it, something like that. And do maybe a little swizz round here. So that is essentially what I want to get to. But it's going to be probably a good 8-9 hours to get all of that done. I don't see that happening in the time that I've got, but yeah, we can see. So yeah, Reckley, are you doing the small rodent fight club this week? I hope so, because your stuff is super wicked. You're not supposed to talk about Furry Fight Club. Yes, you are. Yeah, we're allowed to talk about Furry Fight Club. It's not a, it's not a dictatorship. Um, my claws are going to need some tidying up because, let's be honest, they look weird as. But you get the broad idea at the moment. That's fine. I'm okay with that. So we've got an arm and another arm that actually I can probably get rid of now. But the good thing about having the arm like that is what I can now do is, exactly as I did with the tail, I can now mess about with it if I want to rotate it about a bit. And have it a little bit more like that. I'm just learning to sculpt. Stop asking all the best creators to join in. Dorian, stop it. I'm not having any of this nonsense. I am not I'm not a good sculptor. I'm just making it up as I go along. Oh, Reckley, I'm sorry you're not going to get a chance to do the weekly challenge. However, I do look forward to seeing what you produce in your own creations because you are so damn good at what you do. Super impressive work, man. Super impressive work. Always a pleasure to see you appearing on people's streams. Snags, someone talked about being starstruck over me today, lol. They have not met the mess that is Snags. Well, in fairness, I think there were a few people who were a little bit starstruck when you turned up, mostly because everyone had seen your sculpt, and then people actually saw who you were. Um, and they realised how close the two were to each other, and they were like, "That holy cow! This is really impressive," and rightly so. So, yeah. Okay, so we've got what currently look like monkey playing piano hands. But yeah. Right, now I need a body. And thankfully, the body should be relatively easy, he says with confidence before he even starts it. Ba ba ba. Ba ba ba. Ba ba ba. So I want that to be nice and that, and I want that to be that, and I want that to be that. Oh, that's not the right brown, is it? Oh, Reckley was starstruck as well. Everybody was. Everybody was. Reckley, I owe you an apology. I didn't realise that that was you at the event when we had the meetup, and I feel like an absolute plum. My apologies. I would most certainly have been more starstruck had I realised, but I missed the introduction, and everyone seemed to have done all the introductions, and I missed it. So my apologies. We guys are all awesome. Well, I don't know if we're all awesome. I think I'm certainly lower down the awesome scale, but thank you. I'll take it. Mouse, 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 mouse. Okay, so he's going to need two little spheres up top that will have to be blended together. Like... Oh, it needs shoulders actually, so I need to do that and that. And then you need a chest. And then that's going to have to come down here. And then bring the back out a little bit. This is the bit where Snags will probably tell me off. Because I'm doing this in the worst possible way, but hey, it's all good. And then that can go over there. I was just disappointed that Dreams Have Meanings didn't look like Gareth Keenan. Okay. Oh no, most definitely apologies needed, Reckley. I didn't get to talk to everyone that I wanted to. I didn't even get a chance to properly talk to Dreams Have Meanings, which is for shame. But you know, the good thing is we'll hopefully have these again. Um, do, 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 do. Do 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 do. What tune is that? Is that Rocky? So we need some kind of a spine that I'll build up around. Who the F puts rounded legs on a bed for drunk people? Well, you know, I did hear that there were some shenanigans in terms of you falling out of bed and stuff like that. So yeah, rumor was abounding. Ah, right, hang about. I need to grab this. Merge all of them. There we go. How's my thermo doing? I've got a very bad habit at 13% thermo. That's fine. I've got a bad habit of ending up with a ridiculous thermometer when I do the smallest of things. Okay, so that goes in there. And actually, that should probably have a bit of a that to it. Yeah, a bit more like that. I have no idea what's going on in the chat right now. I feel like I've missed too much at this stage to recover it. Oh yeah, that's a good point. We didn't hear anything about Dorian snoring, and I thought that was going to be kind of the highlight of the whole thing, to be honest. But yeah, Reckley's absolutely, Dirty Harold is absolutely right. We didn't ever hear anything about it. So it's all fake news. Dorian doesn't snore. You heard it here first. What have we got here? Oh, Gribbs made you late. Bad times. Dorian snored awesome, but I got in there first. I was the first to snore. Funniest thing was he picked the bed, mattress, covers and pillows back up and made the bed, went for a wee, and then 30 seconds after getting what? Snags was wasted. Snags was what I would refer to as miraculous. No one accepts shots from a scouse man at a strange bar unless they are well and truly wasted. It has to be said. Okay, so this is looking interesting. Okay, let's do the same trick again as you guys said here. So if I jump into my style and do that, and it's hairy, and I set that to hair, I come out, and I do this, and I put that all the way up, and I put that up a fair bit. All of a sudden, I have a rabbit. A rabbit? No, a rat. Whee! There we go. And he even has a little, awful, little disgusting spine. What have we got? Those two army dudes wanted the snags. They really did. They really did. And we're not talking about reddish boat here. Randoms. Getting back in bed, crash, and him and all went back over. You a handsome beast, Snags. Yep, he's not wrong. He is a beautiful, beautiful man. Oh, thank you for jumping in, Menjo. Appreciate you coming in, man. Thank you. Can't call him spineless. Is this the rat himself? Are we talking about? Or are we talking about? Are we still talking about snags? I'm a bit lost here. Dreams have meanings. I would. Brilliant. This is taking a very different direction. Okay, so now I need to do the hind legs, and the hind legs are basically just big, giant circles or donuts, filled donuts, because they'll stick out from the body quite a bit more. Something a bit like that, and actually to the front as well, but to a much lesser extent. Like that, a little bit. You're going to see a little bit of shoulder blade somewhere. Something like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Thank God. Oh, love you too, Menjo. Take care, man. Beast from the Abandoned Collab. Who's a Beast from the Abandoned Collab? You've lost me again. I need to pay more attention to the chat, but it's hard when you're trying to create, dude. Right, and then if I just rotate that slightly, it gives it a slightly different shape. It's not just a filled donut sat there on its own. So we've got some kind of weird leaping creature. Because this is definitely not a rat. This is like a rabid Furby right now. Right. Harold, thanks for posting on Twitter for me. Need to get on Twitter, to be honest. Yes, Reckley, get on Twitter. Definitely get on Twitter. That's where all of the best dreamers seem to be. And a lot of the molecules as well. The molecules seem to do a lot of dreams trawling on Twitter as well. Okay, so we have the starts of a rat body, and I now need to do some kind of rat leg thing. Snags, I only interact on Twitter. Well, that's patently not true because you're interacting on a stream right now. So, caught you out, man. The rest of the world confuses me. Well, it's a confusing place, in fairness. And then we're going to have some... Actually, no, that's going to have to be more like that, isn't it? And then we'll need the somewhere like that. Beep boop. The head. Ah, right. I searched and searched. I only interact on Twitter. Twitter's everything for dreams. The rest of the world confuses me. I am not. This is a Snagglebot. Okay. I'll sort it out tomorrow in that case. Yes, Reckley, sort it tomorrow. The head, Dirty Harold. The head is going to be really bloody difficult for me, so I am going to leave that for a little while. I don't think I'm in a position to do that right now. There's no way I can do the head justice live on a stream. It's beyond me as it stands at the moment. So at the moment, it's a rat with a TV stand instead of legs. Oh, I know how to do the mouse head. I'm just not doing it on stream because I'll undo tons of stuff and have to redo tons of stuff. It's bad enough having some incredible people here. Yeah, it's bad enough having you incredible creators all here, let alone trying to do the details on here. There's a lot of boomer Facebookers. I don't understand the reference. Who's a boomer? You've lost me. Who are we calling a boomer? Get some Splinter reference. No pressure. Oh, yeah, no, of course not. Never any pressure. Huh. I'm not a boomer. I'm nowhere near a boomer. Rude. I'm only 35, I'll have you know. I'm a millennial. I get to be a millennial, guys. Only just, but I get to be a millennial. You know who doesn't get to be a millennial? Leadnail. Leadnail doesn't count as a millennial. I beat him by 1 year. Ha! Snags, I'm old as fat. You're Gen X. Yeah, Gen X seem to be kind of the forgotten generation, to be honest with you, don't they? They seem to get missed out quite a lot. I'm 36. Am I booming? You are not a boomer. No, you don't have to share that shame. You're a Gen Xer, I believe, is the vernacular. Personally, I think you just settle for being an awesome human being and do the best you can. That's all you can do. Okay, so kind of a start. Oh, you absolute nugget. That isn't going to work because otherwise, when the camera's there, you won't see the legs in the right pose. God damn it. I've done the legs in the wrong pose. That's irritating. And the tail needs to be bigger as well. That's a bit better. That's a bit better. Right. Harold's. Harold's, you're a millennial. What age are you, Mr. Harold's? Are you also of a similar sort of age to the rest of us then? Or are you in your like late 20s or something? Is it 81 that's a millennial? Is it? I always was told it was 84 was the start of the millennials. I don't know what the rules are. Okay, so if I now put that body over here, and I put another one of them over here, this is just placeholders at the moment, so I can start to get an idea of how this might look. Yeah, I could see that working okay. Rec, you're 36. 82. Dirty Harold, are you 82 or are you born in 1982? Dorian, what the F is a millennial? Hippie cafe walkers. I don't think you meant walkers. You look like you're in your 20s. Who? Who looks like they're in their 20s? Dreams have meanings. Snags, those people that moan about stuff and hide in their closets because it's safer. Oh yeah, that's definitely boomers. Definitely boomers. Those are definitely the reprobate boomers. Awful, awful individuals. One and all. That's not true. I can't even pretend that's true. Boomers are cool. Ba 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 ba. Actually, I don't even need that on that side, do I? I need that on the other side, and not to be a moron about it. Ba 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 ba. Ba-ba-ba. Do. Is this stream going the way you imagined? I didn't expect to be talking I didn't expect to be shit talking boomers, if I'm being honest. But you know what? I'm game. You know, why not? It's all good. We're all friends. Safe space to ace space. Yes. Song time. I've got love for you if you were born in the 80s. The 80s. That was a weird song. I never really got that song. Oh, why has that done that? Stop it! Stop doing that. Align to grid. Well, this has gone horribly wrong. There we go. Right. I love grid and I hate grid at the same time. I have 2 likes. Somebody listened to you. Wow. Thanks, folks. I'm surprised and impressed, to be honest with you. It's more than I was expecting. Certainly more than I deserve. I ain't no Stephen Merchant, am I? That was terrible. Let's pretend that never happened. And continuing to like it. Well, God knows why. It's just me talking absolute nonsense. At least it's not just me, though, in fairness. You guys are doing a fair amount of nonsense talking as well. Keep it up. Keep it up. I sounded like dreams have meanings. That's what I was going for, but I wasn't too sure if I pulled it off, to be honest. It didn't sound like you were in the chat at all, dreams have meanings. Not even remotely. Wait, Ada. Yes, there we go. Right. Now, we all know that rats don't have legs like that at all, but if you're prepared to do a bit of suspension of disbelief... DHM in the house! No. DHM in the mouse? Yes, now we're talking. Impasto. Whoop whoop. This has all gotten a little bit surreal. And this has all gotten a little bit rubbish. You know that way where you start to create something and you know exactly what it is you want to create and how it's going to look when you're done and everything. And then you get towards kind of partway through and you're like, yeah, no, actually this is just naff. That's where I'm at right now. I may delete all of this and just start again at some point because this is utter, utter nonsense. Whoa. Dude, look at some reference. No, no, no. It's fine. Oh, Reckley, listen, I appreciate you coming by so much. Thank you, man. I know you have better things to do than watch me absolutely ruin the concept of a mouse. Yeah, I really appreciate you coming by, man. That's awesome. Take care, man. Have a good one. Please do some streaming. Please get on Twitter. Follow us all on Twitter. We'll share the heck out of everything you create, man. Ready and willing team. Yeah, at the moment I have created headless, tailless, bodiless roadkill. I think that'll do for now. I'll save that for now. I'll save that, I think, as dreams have meanings. Travesty. Yeah, man, Reckley, I'll stream more often. I'm planning on doing it a couple of times a week, I think, moving forward. I've got about 6 or 7 projects all on the go. So yeah, I'll certainly plan on doing that more often. There'll always be an announcement as well. But yeah, thank you. Get on Twitter, most definitely. Jump on Twitter, we need you. Right, I am going to switch gear a little bit, and I am going to. Am I still a collaborator on the table? Have a good evening, Reckley. Take care. Thank you for dropping in again. Super awesome of you. So something else that I was having a bit of a muck about with was Glazy Taxi. So I was involved in a group that made the um, gingerbread group, and what I was wanting to do was do some kind of crazy taxi type thing. Um, I couldn't quite get it to work as I wanted it to, um, because it was all a little bit odd. But I think so. What I've got is a randomizer. Let me get rid of some of this nonsense right now. Okay, so there's a randomizer that does a random pickup point with a random person. Your timer's already on the go, and you've got points for when the person is in the vehicle with you. If you pull up to the point, you then get a. Oh, I've got a friend request. Thank you very much, Reckley. That's awesome. I shall add you. Um, so yes, when you pick up the person, it then activates one of the other points, which is a drop-off point. So what you would have is you'd have a whole bunch of different locations. So a little school, a little building, a little road, forest, all sorts of things, and you'd be able to have a pickup point show up on the map, drive to the pickup point, drive round with all sorts of invisible walls and stuff to get to the location you need to get to, drop the person off, and then a different random pickup point would activate. That was what I was hoping to do. And then as long as someone's in the car, your money is going up, but the time is going down. I even managed to do a couple of cool things, or I think cool things, in terms of passenger control. So your passenger control, when they then get in the car, that then switches over to a randomizer that activates a random drop-off point. In addition to that, you've then got messages. So if you were in the area, um, in a drop-off area, it would alert you to stop if you needed to. Only if you were moving in that area, because your speed would not be equal to 0. You'd have to be completely stopped for it not to do it. I have a crazy taxi-like game in the works too. I have the level and car with no game logic so far. I'll tell you what, Dirty Harold's, how's about let's just do this live. Online is private. I don't know how you are with logic. You be genius. No, I'm not genius. I just mess around. Hello, Ledbetter. Thank you for coming in. And I tell you what, Dirty Harold, whoa, why can't I share? You can't share a private creation. Oh, no, I need to collaborate. Duh. Tell I don't do this often. Right. The stuff I've made looks awesome. No, it doesn't. This is just me messing around. Right. Have a look at my logic, Dirty Harold. See what you like. If it works, have at it. If it doesn't work, ignore it. Don't worry about it. Hey. Okay, so that was Crazy Taxi. It didn't really ever get much further than the logic for it because the logic wasn't finished. I'm going to keep going on it, but that was just to give you a quick insight into that one. Do we want to have a quick look at Ball Bouncer-thon? Are we wanting to revisit that at all? Or do we do some... Yeah, do we do Ball Bouncer-thon or do we do a bit of Crystal Maze? You decide. I've got, I reckon, another 45 minutes left in me. So we can either do some bounce-a-thon. Sounds wrong. We can do some bounce-a-thon, or we can do... Oh, hang on. So I'm just catching up on something that was said in the chat. Someone asked if I was using my Blue Yeti. No, I am not using the Blue Yeti tonight because that is at work. Sounds like Yeti in here. No, this is actually my SteelSeries headset this time round. This is just my SteelSeries headset. So the request has come in for industrial... no, the request has come in for lurking while doing some housework. I can quite happily serenade you while you do your housework. I've got to break free. I want to break free. That's an appropriate song for housework, isn't it? Okay, so this one, the way this one's going to work is that there will be a sequence of lights. Yeah, snags, bounce-a-thon. I'll jump into that one in a moment. It's not what you think. Don't get excited. Dreams have meanings. I'm no Nivy. You are absolutely right. So the idea here, yes, Dorian, this is a Simon Says type thing. So lights light up, random lights. It remembers the sequence, this will all be hidden. It remembers the sequence of lights that's been pressed, and you then have to press the same sequence. It'll start off with only 3. Today's vape flavour is back to mango and lychee, in fact. Yes, most definitely need to do food and drinks again. I may even drag Sam out the house as well, if he's in the neighbourhood. 3 will light up. If you get 3 right, it'll go to 4, and then the last one will be the full 6. But the logic that had to go into this to make this happen is insane. And I just wanted to go into a little bit of this, hopefully so that someone can go, well, that's a stupid way of doing it, do it this way instead. So you start off with a computer plays. Yeah, I would absolutely want that. Absolutely. So when the computer plays, we then get a timer, and every time the timer's finished, it randomizes. And each randomizer goes to a bank of lights. There's a counter, so every time the timer finishes, it puts 1 up on the counter. You set the counter to be however many you want. In this case, 5, because it starts off with the first one, so that gives you your 6. As long as it's not at the top end of the counter, the randomizer will continue to function, as will the timer. So if I play that again, we can see that in action here. It's not reached the counter yet, so it's still going up. It's not reached the counter, so timer goes up, and then it stops. I then had to capture each of the outputs from that. And in order to capture the outputs, what I had to then do was have a bank of lights. Each randomizer can have 10 items coming out of it. So I have 10 lights here. So we've got each of these is going to 2 things. We've got it going to a signal manipulator. Let's see if we can capture one of these. Yeah. So the signal manipulator is just making it so that it goes on and then eases off. That's literally all it's doing. There's a secondary one for each of these that happens as well. So we've got, if I move that, you can see the structure a little bit better. So the first signal manipulator is making it go on and then ease off. And then the second signal manipulator is just making it flash on and flash off again. It's exactly the same keyframe, but they do different things. So from there, if I then open this up, let's just open all of this up, make it a little bit easier. What you see is that as each of the lights goes on, we've got these are lighting up as a secondary keyframe, and these set the numbers. So when the light goes on, it sets the keyframe to go to briefly light up one of these. That all then goes into a node, and the node goes into an array. The array takes the value that comes into it and it updates an output and sets the output to be whatever I need the signal to be. I can then reset that if I need to by using an input down here, and what that allows me to do is capture up to 10 different things in a sequence, because we've got a selector that when it happens it moves on to the next. With me so far? Awesome. So that's the sequencing. Great. Now how do we make the player do it? Well, we've then got a timer that takes PT, player turn, and activates it against a timer. At the moment, that's only 3 seconds. I was planning to increase it longer so that you would have a certain amount of time in which to enter in the lights. That then goes to a signal manipulator, which turns everything on. And then we've got something very similar on the other side. Literally, this is taking light IDs, which is exactly the same. It's a replica of the previous. And then that is then setting these values over here. So if I very quickly do a play and I grab that, you can see that is light number 3. Then if I grab that one, that's light number 4. And then we've got light number 1, light number 5, and light number 4, and light number 3. So, sorry guys, have I lost everyone here? Okay. I haven't finished this yet. I think my biggest challenge with this is I understand what I want to happen, which is a Simon Says thing, but a randomized Simon Says with 40 lights. Because I want to have a sequence of 6 lights light up, like this, it wasn't something that I could do easily. And one of the biggest things that I'm learning is that things that I think should be easy to do in-game are not easy to do in real life. And actually there's a hell of a lot more that goes into it just to make it do some of the really basic things. And 2 things have happened since I've gotten dreams. I can't look at a wall without going, ooh, that's an interesting texture. I wonder how I would make that in dreams. And I can't help but look at things and think, how would I build that in dreams in terms of a logic side of things? So yeah, that will be one of the Crystal Maze challenges. And what it'll do is it'll light all of the 6 lights up, and then that'll go red. You'll have a limited time to put in your entries, and then press the green one, and that'll be it. Sorry if I got a bit lost in my own logic there, everyone. I tend to get carried away with myself. Eled better. I have that too. I can it dreams syndrome. Yes. Yeah. The people have seen the does it blend. I suffer from does it dreams. Or how would I dreams? Yeah, this was the briefly. I think we've already seen this probably. Ooh, okay. Excellent. This was the scene that we came up with for the gingerbread community thing that we did, which was a lot of fun. Some people created some really incredible stuff, like these train carriages with the little peppermint wheels and things are just awesome. And the train station with all its little gummy tree lights and stuff. You can see that we really pushed it on everything here to get as much detail as possible in, but even things like the little windmill with its rotating sails, you know, silly things like that that were just so much fun to make. And then the lighthouse on the distance, this is just brilliant. Like if I zoom out to here, you got the Hershey's thing on there, and I make sure I don't hover over anything while this does it, it lights up and goes right the way across the entire scene. And that's just awesome. Such a nice little effect. And you've got the stained glass windows and everything. It's just brilliant. And a big dock there and stuff. I said dock. A big dock there and things. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Right, Crystal Maze. This is the industrial hub section as it looks at the moment. It is a work in progress. I'm using glorious assets from Lucid Stew and the Unaeronaut. And yeah, this is a work in progress, but this will eventually be the industrial hub for the Crystal Maze. So it looks something like this. I've managed to get some of my little industrial walkway pieces done. That was my own work. Quite proud of that, really. And then we've got... don't worry about it at all, Dorian. That's absolutely fine. I'll just scream across the room so you can hear my beautiful voice as you unload the washing machine. Do I have a template for futuristic? Oh, damn it. I thought you would let that go, big dog. Do I have a template for futuristic? I don't currently have a template for futuristic, but I can easily build one. If I remember rightly, futuristic is down here somewhere, and I could probably build one fairly easily so that there was a template for it. I remember you saying that you wanted to give me a hand with that one, so I will build that in the next week. Then is what I'll commit to, because it's actually quite easy if I just switch off some of my effects on this. Oh no, and then change that to studio lighting. Well, all that we've got is a whole bunch of bars here that are all fixed together. Ah, Snags, take care, man. Hope you feel better. Continue to get better, man. Catch you later. Brr. But yeah, so this is all just stuff that's just white bars and then set to glow. Yeah. And then, yeah, that's fun. Snagglepuss. Oh, we've got all sorts of pet names going on here. So, there was something that someone shared with me. I'm sure it was you, Dorian. You shared a tilt table with me somewhere, but I cannot find it for the love nor money. It was your balls and holes thing you shared across, I think. I'm sure it was you, but I can't seem to find it. Catch you later, Snags. Have a good one, man. As I say, hope you feel better soon. I don't think I ever showed anyone where I got up to with my Dante's Inferno either, did I? I'll do this one real quick as well, because why not? So this was my zoetrope type thing. I had quite a lot of fun doing this one. And the idea was that this would be like a pop-up book. And the pop-up book would have little tags and things that would then be pullable. And you'd be able to move him through the level. And as he moved through the level, all of this stuff would all open up under him as he went. And it would kind of all unfold around him. Like that. If I rewind that, what I wanted to have happen was all of the level would like unfold and it would all come across like this. I got sick of it and deleted a lot of stuff out of this. I don't know if I've got any other versions of it, to be honest. I'll have a quick look. I don't think I do. Because I tried to do... oh god, yeah, I did all sorts of this. But yeah, I've deleted a lot out of the level. Because I couldn't work out how to do it and got frustrated with it and basically threw a massive hissy fit and didn't do it. So yeah, that was fun. Private creation. I don't know what that is. Crystal Maze assets. Is it in here? No, I in here yet. So, Crystal Maze has been a fun one to do, because it involved so many different things. And you say you be not a genius. You stuff is amazing. It's really not. It's held together with duct tape and spit and hope. There's not really that much that's terribly impressive about it. Okay, so first up, let's do this. Oh Christ, no, I'm not listening to my own voice. So basically, the first time you enter the zone, there is a number, and if the game number is 0, it will play this timeline.
God of dreaming, molecular. For more than a decade, this deity was worshipped.
So once that's then played, it then goes into a selector. And that selector then activates your controller, and it activates all of these. So if I let this play,
A symbol of the imagination, a riot of day-glow Hessian fabric and transcendent tactility, ready and willing to tear away tedium. But enough idle chit-chat. We're here to win.
and then as soon as that's done, we then get these all becoming active. So you can then press these buttons as necessary. And whichever one you press, it then does a couple of things. Excuse me. It then does a couple of things. So physical currently is 0, and as long as that is 0, you can choose physical. As soon as you've chosen physical, it's not Richard O'Brien. No, Donny the Dingo. Thank you for joining, by the way, Donny the Dingo. You're absolute legend. Appreciate you being here. So as long as you haven't already played a physical game, you can play a physical game. The challenge is you go away to this scene and you play a physical game, you come back here, the risk was that it would all reset. So there's lots of global variables going on here. So have you played a physical game? If you have played a physical game, manipulate this number so it's no longer equal to 0, which means that physical will not be lit up. It also means that you can't press the button as well, it deactivates it on the controller. We've also got a timeline here so that when it is selected, it'll read through it as necessary. So that is all in there. You've also got things for your crystal counter. How many crystals have you got? Score modifiers. How many crystals have you got? All that sort of thing. So that's all there. And then the camera with its weird wobbly movement and all the rest of it. That's all in there as well. Yeah, so that was the Crystal Maze hub area. And from there, you've got your various games that sit off the side of it. Now, what I really want to do is get to a point where I can get this working. I want to get to a point where I can get this working as I want it to work. So the idea here, in fact, this is the wrong one. Let me jump out. I hope everyone can keep up if there's lag and stuff. My apologies. Right. What do I need? What do I need? Here we go. Right, let's try this one. So we've got in here, there'll be some kind of large bamboo thing here, and you're able to point it around the level, and the idea will be that when you press a button, it'll drop a ball into the mouth of the skulls. Get 3 skulls with balls in their mouths. Dorian, don't even do it. And you win. But if you miss and any ball rolls down and lands in the bottom section, it'll delete all of the mouth balls that you've already got in. So if it happens on your third one, you have to restart, basically. You'll have 3 minutes in which to complete that. The control for doing that is very difficult, which is why I want to kind of get my head around exactly how balls and holes works. So with permission from Dirty Harold, Dorian, I think, or whoever it was, I'm going to see if I'm still a collaborator on that and have a quick look at the logic. Yeah, I know, I'm not so good with the innuendo. Yeah, I don't seem to be a... Collaborations. Here we go. Laser puzzle. Asa, oh, yeah. So Asa has done this. Um, I need to add this to a collection, actually. Ah, it's already in there. Awesome. So Asa, am I doing the water guns with sharks? Um, that I might do. I might do. I don't know yet. Um, anyone else who wants to do a mini game for this is more than welcome. I could do with all the help I can get. Uh, why can't I find this? That's really irritating. Grr. Okay, fine. Let's do a search. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ooh, Dorian. Ooh. Wait, who's Mini Dorian? Please tell me that's your lad, Dorian. Or your little one. Level 190. Jeez, oh. Water is very tricky in Dreams. Very tricky indeed. Oh, I am a collab on this. How bizarre. I don't know why it wasn't showing up on mine. That's irritating. So, this one is actually from the Aztec over here. That's one that really needs to sit there. Oh, that's cute. Mini Dorian and Mrs. Dorian. Genuinely genius. I love that. So with permission, I would like to have a little look at this. Wait, what? Why? Oh, I figured you'd be back now that you were answering. Why? What? I just want to see this scene. Ah! Okay, so I need to be made a collaborator on the scene rather than the dream, because I can't edit the scene and see how the scene... Oh, no, I can. I'm talking absolute gubbins. Whoa. Okay, so you guys thought my logic was crazy. This is next level. Holy crikey. That's some busy stuff. So, what have we got here? Okay, so that's a sound effect. Ah, okay, so if the ball is moving, it will affect the volume up to a maximum of 50%. That will then emit from here, where the camera is. You've also got a counter. Why have you got a counter on this? What does it do? What does the counter do, Mr. Dor? This is nothing. This is the first thing I made in Dreams. Don't touch, it will explode. Yeah, do you know what? I am not entirely sure I understand all of this just yet. I'm going to have to spend a bit of time understanding exactly what's going on, because when you play this, that level of control, that is what I need to get in one of my games, which I'm hoping to get fairly soon. Because I've got the actual function of the game there, but the way in which it actually works is awful, and people really don't like the way that I've got the logic set up. But oh well, there we go. Probably some mad stuff in there. Yeah, probably. Um, but hey, we've all got mad stuff in all of sorts of things. Hey, you've done a pool game as well. That's cool. Um, So the reason that I wanted to show you that was because in the Crystal Maze, in my tilt table one, I too have got some ridiculous stuff going on in terms of my controls, which don't work, don't make sense, and I couldn't work out how to do it better. Um, I thought I was doing quite well, but it turned out it didn't really work as people expected it to. Um, I couldn't get it to do what I wanted it to do, and it was incredibly frustrating. Because when I play this, sure, it works and does what I need it to do.
3 minutes might seem like a long time, but there's a lot to do.
Okay, I can't listen to my own voice. That's awful. Um, but yeah, so I'm getting lost in myself here. But yeah, so there was no way I was going to be able to do that. So I'm going to have to pick apart your logic, Dorian, and see what I can come up with. Donnie, I have also taken a note on my little notebook that I need to get you a map for what the futuristic zone looks like. If anyone wants to look after that orange heart. What orange heart? You've lost me. Yeah, I have no idea what you're on about. Orange heart? Alright, cool. Um, but yeah, so what I really want to do is get to the point where this plays just as well as this. And I'm probably just... MM pick. That'll be why I'm not familiar with it, Dorian. Thanks for the subtle dig. But yeah, I want to get the Crystal Maze where all of the minigames make sense. Everything is kind of logical, and people can play through it. I think it could be the first like full-on, large-scale, kind of proper quote-unquote, game made in Dreams. And yes, it's a recreation of something that's already out there. Crystal Maze is well known and loved by loads of people, but I think it could be fun. And then along came the water gardens and ruined my dreams. So that's the story of that. Um, Other creations, what have I created? Oh yeah, okay. So I'm having quite a lot of fun with this at the moment. This is for the futuristic zone, and what I've got is this is kind of a mostly just a lesson for me in wireless receivers and transmitters. So what I've done is let me just play this. This will probably make it easier to understand. Um, all of the buttons on the controller do a different thing. So we've got square, that does something up here. That moves that back. I've not set up a camera on this so I can show you live. That moves that back. We've got other things as well. What have we got? We've got... no, that doesn't do anything. Okay, so we've got another button here. The right trigger does something there. We've got square, triangle. Triangle drops that down. Okay, triangle and circle moves the inner one. So there's all sorts of stuff going on here. And the idea is, if I can remember how to do this, because it's been a while since I've looked at this one. There's an emitter somewhere. Basically, the idea here is what you need to do is somehow get the ball from there all the way down to something down here, which will be where you'll pick up the crystal from. And in order to do that, you've got 3 minutes to work out what buttons do what. So I know that does that. I know that left and right stick at the same time does that, but I need to make sure I get it over there. Once I've got it over there, what do? Well, I then need to press R2 to get it into the right place. Then I know that I have to press square and triangle at the same time to move that round, but then the green one won't move. And actually what I need to do is press square, triangle, and circle all at the same time to make that move. So the idea is that you have to navigate it round a series of barriers by working out how you control each of the barriers. If the ball falls down to the bottom and hits the trigger zone, it will be destroyed, and you'll get a new one appearing up here. The idea is that you'll be able to press the touchpad. Ah! Isn't it funny that you can completely forget what the heck it is you meant to do, and then all of a sudden it all comes back and you remember it? Right. And the idea is that you can do it as many times as you like with the test ones, but on the final time, you'll have to do a flawless run in order to make sure that you don't drop the actual crystal. If you drop the crystal, there's nothing else you can do but leave the level crestfallen and destroyed that you didn't actually win the crystal. So that's one of the futuristic skill ones I'm working on. I had a bit of an idea to do something similar with this as an alternative for maybe the Aztec zone, whereby you've got a ball that will roll down a panel like so, but the panel wouldn't be in the right shape. You'd have to press buttons to move the various elements into the right place in time as this was rolling past in order to then for it to be available to grab from the bottom. So that, start the fans, please, would be one of the other ones that we could do in the Aztec zone. But again, you know, the other thing that was really cool was that it does work. You're absolutely right. One of the things that I thought was really cool was that when I was talking to John Beach about this, um, uh, when we met up, name drop, when I met up with John Beach, and the rest of the incredible community, he said that it was one of the things when they were doing the very, very early days before Dreams was even a thing, when they were doing kind of prototyping, they were using the Crystal Maze as an example and saying if you were going to make a mini game in Crystal Maze, what would you do? And that was how they did some of the prototyping for Dreams. So he was childishly excited when I told him that this was a project that I was working on, and he's desperate to playtest this. But it's nowhere near a point where I can playtest it just yet, so I need more mini games. So yeah, I am locked in. I'm not locked in. Stop bullying me. So yeah, that at 1 hour 54 minutes streaming, I think that's kind of it. Lol, you know you gotta do it now. Do what? Oh yeah, 'cause John Beach, yeah, yeah. We're not letting you out. Well, is what it is. Oh, crikey. I need to delete some of my stuff. I've got far too much nonsense in here that just totally unnecessary crumbs. Just get rid of it. I only have 60 creations, but the problem that I've got is that I've released a lot of them as private. So I can't clear them off. Anyway, that's enough from me. I'll do some more on my travesty. Although it may be that that's all I get a chance to do because of the way the rest of the week is going. I'm going to do some work on Ball Bounce-a-thon in the background. I'll have an update for that next time round, and I'll share what I've done because I'm going to have to play with it quite a lot to get it where I need to get. So I'll do that. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Take it easy, have a good one, and I will catch all of you on the next stream from our fearless leader, Dreams Have Meanings. Have a good one. Take it easy, everyone. Stay safe, and yeah, be kind. Cheerio.